Ladies and gentlemen, let me paint you a picture. A woman walking through life with her head held high, her heart full, and her dreams unfolding before her. Society whispers in her ear, "You need someone beside you," as if her worth is measured by the presence of a partner. But she smiles, not in defiance, but in knowing. She knows she is whole. She knows she is enough. There is a narrative that has been told for centuries, a story that suggests a woman is only complete when she has someone by her side. But what if that story is outdated? What if a woman standing on her own is already whole? What if she is not waiting to be chosen, but instead she is choosing herself every single day? The world often measures a woman's happiness by the presence of a partner, as if love, success, and fulfillment come wrapped in a relationship. But look closer, and you will see a woman who is carving her own path, embracing her individuality, and proving that completeness is not something another person can give her, it is something she cultivates within. She is not defined by romantic milestones, but by the courage in her choices. She is the woman who builds, who creates, who dreams without limits. She understands that happiness is not a destination found in someone else's arms, but a journey she walks with purpose, passion, and a relentless belief in herself. She loves deeply, not just in the way the world expects, but in a way that is boundless. She loves her ambitions, her freedom, her peace. She loves her solitude, her laughter, her late-night thoughts that shape the empire she is building. She does not seek validation, for she has already validated herself. She does not need a label to prove her worth, for she carries her confidence like armor. There is no missing piece in her life. She is the masterpiece, the story, the adventure, the force that moves mountains without waiting for permission. So when they ask, "Why are you alone?" she smiles, because she knows the truth. She has never been alone. She has always had herself, and that has always been enough. There is a quiet assumption that lingers in conversations, in raised eyebrows, in sympathetic smiles, a belief that a woman without a boyfriend must be lonely, as if the absence of a romantic partner leaves an empty space in her life, waiting to be filled. But what if that assumption is wrong? What if loneliness is not about who is beside you, but about how deeply you know yourself? She walks into a room alone, not as a shadow looking for light, but as a force that shines on her own. She has learned the art of enjoying her own company, of laughing without needing an audience, of celebrating victories that only she understands. She has discovered that solitude is not emptiness, it is space. Space to think, to grow, to dream without limits. There are women who seek companionship because they are afraid of silence, but she is not one of them. Silence is her sanctuary, a place where she listens to her own voice without the noise of expectations. She has found freedom in her independence, strength in her solitude, and confidence in knowing that her happiness is not tied to another person's presence. Her life is not on pause, waiting for someone to press play. She is already moving, already living, already writing her own story. She loves without boundaries. Her family, her friends, her ambitions, her late-night thoughts that no one else hears. Love is all around her, not confined to a single relationship, but woven into every part of her existence. So when the world looks at her and assumes she must be missing something, she smiles, not in defense, but in knowing. Because she is not missing anything, she is creating everything. She is not lonely. She is powerful, self-sufficient, and fiercely in love with the life she is building. Love is one of the most beautiful forces in the world, but somewhere along the way we were taught that it must come in a certain form, from a certain person at a certain time. A woman without a boyfriend is often met with concern, as if she is missing out on the grandest experience of all. But love, real, limitless, and powerful, was never meant to be confined to a single relationship. She does not need a romantic partner to know what love feels like. Love is in the warmth of her friendships, in the way her best friend listens to her dreams as if they are her own. It is in the late-night conversations with family, the kind that make her laugh until she can't breathe. Love is in the small, quiet moments, watching the sunrise with a cup of coffee, feeling the wind rush against her face as she chases her ambitions. Standing in front of a mirror and recognizing the woman staring back at her. She does not seek love as if it is missing. She carries it wherever she goes. It's in the way she nurtures her passions, the way she pours her heart into her work, the way she stands up for herself without hesitation. She is not waiting for someone to bring love into her life because love is already woven into every piece of her existence. The world may try to tell her that love is only validated when it is tied to a relationship, but she knows better. She knows that love is not about labels, timelines, or societal expectations. It is about how deeply she connects with herself, with the people who truly matter, with the purpose that drives her forward. So when they ask, "Don't you want love?" she simply smiles because she knows the truth. She already has it, in ways they may never understand, in forms they fail to recognize. Because love was never about finding another half, it was about realizing she has always been whole. A woman who walks alone is not waiting for someone to catch up. She is not standing at the crossroads of life, hoping for a hand to lead her forward. She moves with purpose, with fire in her soul, with a vision so clear that nothing can distract her. She is not incomplete. She is in motion, building a life on her own terms, carving a destiny that belongs entirely to her. The world often tells her that love should be her destination, that her journey is somehow unfinished without a partner by her side. But she knows better. She knows that love, when it comes, should complement her, not complete her. She is not searching for someone to fill a gap because there is no gap, only boundless possibilities waiting to be explored. She is the architect of her own future. While some are waiting for text messages, she is writing her own story. While others are seeking approval, she is chasing dreams that set her soul on fire. She does not measure success by relationship milestones, but by the passion she pours into her ambitions, by the strength she discovers in herself every single day. They may ask her, "Aren't you afraid of being alone?" But she does not fear solitude. She embraces it. Because in that space, she is learning, growing, and becoming the kind of woman who does not settle for anything less than what she deserves. She is not looking for someone to save her. She is too busy saving herself. So when the world wonders why she walks alone, she does not stop to explain. She simply moves forward, unshaken, unapologetic, and unstoppable. Because she is not waiting for life to happen. She is making it happen. The moment she takes her first step into the world, expectations begin to whisper in her ear. They tell her how she should live, whom she should love, and what timeline she should follow. They map out a path, one that leads to a destination where a partner is the missing piece, as if her existence is incomplete without someone standing beside her. But she does not walk that road. She has learned that the greatest power a woman can hold is the ability to define her own life on her own terms. She refuses to shrink herself to fit into a mold society has created for her. She does not see her worth through the lens of relationship status, nor does she seek validation from a world that struggles to understand a woman who stands on her own. She is rewriting the narrative not as someone who is waiting, but as someone who is living fully, freely, and fearlessly. They ask, "When will you settle down?" as if her life is a chaotic storm that needs to be tamed. But she is not lost, nor is she waiting to be anchored. She is soaring, she is exploring the depths of who she is, pushing boundaries, chasing dreams, and proving that fulfillment does not come from conforming, it comes from being true to herself. She is not against love, nor does she deny its beauty, but she will never allow it to be a chain disguised as a fairy tale. Love, when it enters her life, will not be something she depends on, it will be something she chooses. A powerful woman does not seek a partner to complete her. She seeks one who understands that she was already whole. So when they wonder why she walks alone, she does not explain. She simply smiles, knowing that the life she is creating is not one of compromise, but of courage. A life not dictated by expectations, but driven by a fire within her that refuses to be dimmed. She walks into a restaurant and asks for a table for one. She books a flight without waiting for someone to join her. She spends her weekends however she pleases, reading, exploring, creating, dreaming, without needing anyone else to validate the way she spends her time. She is not alone, she is with herself, and that is more than enough. The world often assumes that happiness must be shared to be real, that joy must come from companionship to be fulfilling, but she knows better. She has found something that many spend a lifetime searching for, the ability to be at peace in her own company. She has learned that silence is not emptiness, but a conversation with herself. She has discovered that there is a rare kind of power in sitting alone with her thoughts, in embracing the stillness, in knowing she does not need noise to feel alive. She does not fear solitude, she treasures it. It is in those quiet moments that she meets herself over and over again, learning more about the woman she is becoming. She does not need distractions to feel fulfilled because she is not running from anything. She is not afraid of being with herself because she loves who she is. She takes herself on dates. She celebrates her wins, and she enjoys the freedom that comes with choosing herself every single day. They ask, "Don't you get lonely?" as if being alone is something to be pitied. But she does not need a room full of people to feel seen, nor does she need a relationship to feel valued. She has built a world where her happiness is not dependent on someone else's presence, but on her own sense of self. She is not looking for someone to complete her days. She is already living them fully. So when they wonder how she does it, how she finds joy in her own company, she simply smiles. Because the secret is simple. She is not waiting for life to happen. She is already living it, every single moment, exactly the way she wants. She has seen the world rush into love as if being in a relationship is a prize to be won rather than a connection to be nurtured. She has watched people settle not because they found something extraordinary, but because they feared being alone. But she refuses. She refuses to compromise her peace for companionship, refuses to trade her freedom for an illusion of security, refuses to settle for something that does not set her soul on fire. She is not against love. She believes in it deeply, but not the kind that comes out of pressure, not the kind that is built on expectations rather than true connection. She will not choose someone just because the world tells her that she should. She will choose when it feels right, when it adds to her life rather than consumes it, when it empowers rather than limits her. She would rather spend years alone than a lifetime in the wrong company. She is not interested in temporary affection or forced relationships that look good in pictures but feel empty in reality. She seeks something rare, something that aligns with her energy, her ambition, and until that comes, if it ever does, she is more than content with the life she is building on her own. They tell her she is too picky, too independent, too focused on herself, but she does not hear criticism in those words. She hears strength, because a woman who knows her worth does not lower her standards to fit into a mold that was never meant for her. She does not fear being single. She fears settling for less than she deserves. So when they ask her, "Don't you want someone by your side?" she smiles. Not because she doesn't believe in love, but because she believes in herself more. And that belief, that deep, unshakable knowing that she is enough, is what makes her unstoppable. She wakes up every morning not searching for someone to make her feel special, but already knowing that she is. She does not wait for love to knock on her door to feel worthy, nor does she rely on someone else's attention to remind her of her value. Her happiness is not a borrowed emotion. It is something she cultivates within herself, something she's built brick by brick through self-respect, resilience, and an unshakable belief in who she is. The world often teaches women that love from another is the ultimate source of fulfillment, that happiness is something given rather than something created. But she knows better. She has seen people in relationships still searching for themselves, still feeling empty despite having someone beside them. She understands that happiness is not a destination someone else takes you to. It is a journey you walk on your own. She celebrates herself not just on birthdays or special occasions, but every single day. She finds joy in the simplest things, in the way she moves through life with purpose, in the way she laughs without hesitation, in the way she chases dreams with a fire that cannot be dimmed. She does not need someone to hold her hand to feel steady, nor does she need a relationship to feel complete. She is complete already. They tell her you'll be happier when you find someone, but she smiles knowing that her happiness was never lost. It was never something waiting at the end of a love story. It has always been within her, in the way she embraces her journey, in the way she stands tall even when the world questions her choices. So when they ask, "Aren't you missing something?" she knows the truth. She is not missing anything. She has found everything within herself, in her passions, in the life she has built with her own two hands, and that is a kind of happiness that no one can take away. She walks into a room with her head held high, not looking for approval, not seeking validation. She moves with a quiet confidence, the kind that comes from knowing who she is, what she wants, and where she is going. She does not need to be introduced as someone's girlfriend to feel important, nor does she need a partner to prove that she is valued. She is enough just as she is. The world often measures a woman's strength by who stands beside her, as if her ability to love, to nurture, to be powerful only matters when reflected through a relationship. But she has redefined strength. She has proven that a woman can stand alone and still be unstoppable. She is independent, not because she has no other choice, but because she has made a choice. To build a life that is hers, to chase dreams that set her soul on fire, to create a happiness that is not dependent on anyone else. She does not see herself as someone waiting. She is not waiting for love to come and save her, not waiting for a relationship to give her direction, not waiting for society's approval to feel complete. She is living fully, boldly, unapologetically. She is making things happen, setting goals, breaking barriers, and proving that her worth is not tied to a relationship status, but to the impact she makes, the life she creates, and the person she chooses to be. They ask, how do you do it? How do you stand so strong on your own? And she smiles, not because she has something to prove, but because she has already proved it to herself. She is the woman who does not wait to be chosen because she has already chosen herself. She is the example, the reminder, the inspiration that a woman without a boyfriend is not a woman without love. She is a woman with self-respect, with ambition, with purpose. She is a woman who is more than enough, just as she is. She stands in a world that constantly asks her when she will find someone, when she will settle down, when she will let love complete her. But she does not live by their questions. She does not measure her worth by someone else's timeline. She knows that her life is not defined by who she stands next to, but by how she stands on her own. She is not waiting for love to give her identity. She has already found it within herself. They call her fearless, but it is not fearlessness that drives her. It is self-awareness. She knows that love is not about filling an emptiness, but about expanding an already full life. If love comes, it will not be out of need, but out of choice. And until then, she will continue to chase her dreams, to build, to grow, to shine in ways that have nothing to do with being someone's other half, because she was never half to begin with. She was always whole. She does not need permission to be happy. She does not need a relationship to prove she is worthy of love. She does not need to be seen through someone else's eyes to recognize her own beauty. She loves herself in the most powerful way possible by showing up for herself every single day, by embracing who she is with pride, by creating a life so full that when love arrives, it will be an addition, not a completion. So when they ask, don't you feel alone? She simply smiles because she knows that solitude is not emptiness. It is power, it is freedom, it is a testament to her strength. She is not defined by the absence of a relationship, but by the presence of something far greater, herself. And in that, she has already won.